Hello everyone, welcome to Cat by Nagendra YouTube channel. So now in this video we are going to discuss about constraints. So what is meant by constraints? So constraint is nothing but arresting the degrees of freedom. It means, let's say for example we are having one object here. So this object we have not having any support for this particular object. So if you don't have any support for this object, this proper object will be able to move front back, then left right, then top and bottom. Means this object is able to move in 6 directions. As you can see, this is able to move front back, left right, top and bottom. Total this object is able to move in 6 degrees. So here we call it as 6 degrees of freedom. Now let's say for example opposite sides will be equal. Means if you lock on front view, so it won't move back side, and again if you lock on side right side, it won't move left side, and if you lock on top, it won't move bottom side. So total we will be having here 6 degrees of freedom. In that 6 degrees of freedoms, opposite sides will be equal. So we will consider mainly of 3 constraints. So 3 constraints, those are, so these 3 degrees of freedom, it will be with 2 degrees of freedoms will be in linear motion. It means this object is able to move in linear direction in 2 degrees. Then one will be rotation will be there. So if you want to fix this particular part at particular position, minimum we need to apply here 3 constraints. 2 will be translation constraints and 1 will be rotation constraint. So when we are discussing about a particular 3D part, so we need to apply 3 constraints to arrest the degrees of freedom for this particular part. So 2 constraints will be having here 2 type of constraints. So if you want to arrest the degrees of freedom for that particular part or any point, so we need to go here with 2 type of constraints. One is dimensional constraints, one more is geometrical constraints. So dimensional constraints is nothing but we need to apply the dimensions what they will be specifying to lock the degrees of freedom. Then geometrical constraint is nothing but we need to apply extra relations, like let it be for example parallelism, perpendicular, concentricity, again circularity, again coincidence, like that different type of relations will be there. Those it will come under geometrical constraints. Then applying dimension is nothing but dimensional constraints.